It is 3:53 p.m. on July 10th, 2021. I went to an area that is a bookstore, and I knew that at this bookstore, the last time I was there, that there was a book in a particular section that I may or may not have today have had the money to purchase because of where it was at the time. It's not there anymore. That book is gone. This is what happens in bookstores. See, it's different than in a library. Presumably, you go to a library, especially the reference section of a library, and you know the book is always going to be there unless somebody's using it at that time. And if that's the case, you can wait and use another book while they're using that book. That's part of the reference section. But when they do things like they take the reference section completely out of commission at the public library, and then they say things like, well, we had to destroy it because nobody wanted it, which may have just been the other archive. It may not have been that archive. The point of the matter is, you don't have access to those books, and they're not at the reference section, which is where they're supposed to be, on site. So nobody can take them or steal them. And because they're referenced, that's a part of the public trust. And you're entitled to go and you're entitled to do research, including primary source research regarding legal cases and regarding the law. Well, they don't have that anymore because they took it out of the library. They made some justification for taking that away from us. So, what's the best option you got? Well, maybe a bookstore might have some legal books, and you might be able to do some research in the store using the book that they have. And if you got a used bookstore, you might find some old books before they started doing a certain kind of whitewashing and backdating information and publishing, different information. And you'll notice that if you get a book, for instance, the Texas Criminal and Traffic Law Manual from 2005 and 2006 versus, I don't know, the Texas Criminal and Traffic Law Manual from 2011. You have different information, especially when it comes to the law, and especially when it comes to whatever the ceremony is that Texas does in contravention of its own Bill of Rights. So I went and I found the book, and I actually found what I needed and was able to, in a particular period of time, get the information I needed. And I put the book back and I put it on the shelf, and I have the information I needed. But then I said to myself, I was concerned because there's this book that's been there for over 2 years. Ever since I first found the store, the same book has been there. But I found another book there in another section at one point in time. And that book was an old book. And in that book was information that revealed the changes to the Texas Insurance Code that went into effect on September 1st of 2001. You can't find that information now anywhere. It's gone. That book was from before 2005. And that book also had information. There's another book is now gone, had information in it regarding how it was in 2005. If I'm correct, it was 2005. Changes that had been implemented in law from 2003 revealed that the introduction to the Texas Small Business Code had been supplanted with a invocation of a gubernatorial commission regarding biotechnology, biomedicine, nanotechnology, and bioengineering. It was a specific commission under the direct express authority of the governor of Texas, but was under the Small Business Code. Now, the information on that commission is completely different, and the formal records have transitioned. Periodically, you supplant the formal reference books with a new reference book that has the updates. But in the meantime, if there are annual updates, sometimes you got to go to the pocket pack. And so the pocket pack for specific years, the supplement, can be very, very important. You'll notice if you read the opinions from the attorneys general, those letters they give to people when people contact them with a question, sometimes refer to a specific supplement in a specific year. Now, if you've been practicing law for 5 years, 10 years, maybe 25, 30 years, maybe you've actually had a process where you were able to bill and get your bills paid. And so you could purchase those for yourself in your own private collection. But they're also supposed to be publicly accessible. The question becomes one of, well, what happens when that 5-year, 10-year period happens and they replace the primary book with the updated book that has the changes to the law? What about the old laws? What about 10, 20, 30-year securities that are brokered in connection with those legal changes 10, 20, 30 years before? So, as I was on the way, something happened. I only got 3 at the time. How many do I got? Right there on the street, somebody just left a big, huge box of Sandy's Amazing Chocolate Chunks. Look at that. It's a cookie. How many do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Well, would you look at that? 34. Now on the way in, I took 3 with me. Just in case something happened. I picked up 3, right? I went, I did what I needed to do. Box of cookies was still there, so I got the rest. 34. 34 cookies, just right there in the middle of the fucking sidewalk. Right next to the goddamn street. Right in there in the fucking sidewalk. Right at the intersection, one of the busiest intersections at this part of town. Now did I steal them? Why the fuck did somebody take a full box of cookies and just leave it on the goddamn street corner? Today. There was more in there. And you know what that tells me? Childcare. Childcare. See, what was in there is something that references a form of consideration. Some people consider this to have a reference point to some of the best workers' benefits, including when it comes to provision of childcare. You know what's ironic? They marked it down. July 9th, 2021, $0.00. Right before they put it in the box with 34 cookies. I got something else in this bag. Do you want to accuse me of stealing it? Do you have any idea what this reveals? I'm pretty sure there's no other fucking way you can find it. It's for use in the year I first came to Texas to work at a Capital Defense law firm. It's 4:01 p.m., July 10th, 2021.